Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Hand of Fate 2. Now, what I've noticed is interesting here is you just can't forfeit at the moment, which is funny because we are in a mission, but we're at the very beginning of a mission. The mission here is we have this Oswin that has a health of 100 and we are trying to keep him alive as our goal. This mission is called The Lovers. I double checked, there are 21 major arcana tarot cards. So I suspect what we're going to have happen here is some of the lesser known arcana tarot cards, major arcana tarot cards, are going to be skipped over. Otherwise, there are 21 missions in this game, which is not a huge amount if every mission was a tight 35 minutes long, but they aren't that short by any means. They can easily go an hour and a half each, and that's a lot for what this game is. And it wouldn't be a lot, I guess, if you were just an average player and you were pacing things out, but I don't know how many gamers really do that in the first place, where you would play just one mission of this game, then wait several weeks to several months to come back and play another mission. I feel like you'd forget things quite fast there and just move on to the next big game that you'd be interested in playing. Sure, if you only have enough time to play video games on the weekends, this would stretch out for potentially 21 weeks. Which would basically be half a year, or nearly half a year. But again, I just don't think that.
Poor apprentice. Cultivate focus.
Generic move forward dialogue. Might as well
Goblins,
not voice that.
They get in everywhere.
So we have exploding doodads. We arrive at an overturned cart propped up by a large log. Well, here we are. Oswin knocks on the top of the cart. Uncle, it's Oswin. So, part of the story here is that we were supposed to visit this uncle who's inventing, I guess, grenades in a fantasy world. A goblin poorly disguised as a human scurries out from behind the cart. You note no surprise from either Oswin nor the goblin's face. Oswin, my boy, have you come to see my exploding doodads? And before anybody can agree or protest, the goblin pulls a lit bomb from his robe and flings it into the forest. The bomb explodes spectacularly against a boulder. You there. The goblin squints up at you. Watch out for monsters. This forest is simply rife with them. He taps his staff. Upon the ground and undead begin to crawl from a swirling portal. The goblin gives you a genial smile as he places a bomb in your hand. He puts Oswin on the arm. He pats Oswin on the arm and jumps into the portal with a little whoop. So we now have an item called Holy Purification, which is a holy bomb. Throw a bomb that causes 80 damage to undead enemies. Bomb artifact, powerful combat item with limited number of uses. Can be manually aimed to targets groups of enemies. So we have a whole nother gameplay mechanic in the fight section, I guess. And in this case, it has infinite uses. But I imagine if we're going to get this as an item card in other scenarios, it will have limited uses, probably one. The portal closes, leaving you surrounded by the walking dead, holding a bomb and with a potato farmer at your side. Kill the skeletons with the artifact to progress. So it's just going to be equipped by default, but yeah, I have no idea how you're going to target this. Like, it's going to be a totally different system of buttons and interactions. It's kind of funny that we are like 5 or 6 episodes in and just now we're seeing the generic skeleton characters, but you know, skeletons are so prominent in so many games that it probably isn't a terrible idea to introduce them when necessary and not overuse them. Raised from endless sleep to fight once more, these spirits can only be defeated by a bomb. That's unique. Alright, so apparently I'm going to use the right bump to activate it, and that's gonna like slow down the time. Alright. So there's a cooldown on them. On how you can use the bomb, which leaves you weirdly like not really doing anything at all. In between, you're mostly just avoiding taking damage, but in this scenario in particular, you're trying to protect the potato farmer and avoid him taking any damage at all, because now he is going to eat my food to restore his health if his health is below 100, and his health seems to be at 100 now, but I wouldn't be surprised if it changes or if I am down to 4 food already because he ate my food. The story continues. I'll take that. Oswin Uncle appears behind you without a sound, taking the curiously enchanted bomb from your hand and replacing it with a near identical one. This only has 3 uses.
The flim-flam of holy men. Do with it as you will.
So apparently we're supposed to defeat 75 skeletons with this item, unlike the shard. But I can only use it 3 times? Is that 3 times per fight, or is that 3 times in total? Because there's a big difference there. And if I have to use it like 75 times, that means I'm going to have to potentially encounter that item like 25 times. He then gives you both a forceful pinch on the cheek and disappears under the overturned cart. Oswin seems wholly unperturbed by the happenings. You continue on your journey.
Not the most reliable of companions, it would have to be said.
And then we wake up one night to the sound of Oswin's muffled screams. The undead surround the potato farmer. They appear to be attempting a kidnapping, but they are doing a shambolic job of it. One skeleton is shoving a cloth in Oswin's mouth while another swings a sword wildly. So we fail there. With a thud of a rusty shield against your temple, you black out. When you come to, Oswin and the skeleton kidnappers are gone, which brings Oswin in trouble. And it seems like in most scenarios that was going to go that way. Only one chance for a success was available. So this might be a scenario where having the card chances increased, so that you would have more opportunities for success might be very helpful in replaying this scenario for gold. Apparently Oswin's time is limited, so we have to go and save him. Well, I was going to do that anyways. There's so few cards on the
It was
field.
your actions that necessitated these additions to the game, you understand. I knew you were approaching and tailored things around your lust for fame.
So this was a card we wanted to see what it would do. Fame and shame. You follow the sound of hammering into a town hall. Inside as a man stands atop a stool chipping away at a row of marble sculptures. Impressive, is it not? Sir Malifaux of Cadre is a great patron of arts. You could be too. So we should commission a ceramic sculpture for 5 and see what that does for us. Again, 50-50 chance of success. We failed. When you return to inspect your sculpture, a couple of young rascals identify you. You must think you're so much better than everyone else, says one of them. Get him, screams the other as they hurl stones at you. You escape the town hall, nursing a couple bruises. We've gained 2 fame. And a lot of health damage. Ooh. Well, that was a mistake. I doubt we will ever play Fame and Shame again. I imagine had we had success there, we would have gotten a lot of fame, blue, the blue crown element, but you only need valor. Yeah, it's called valor, not fame. In some rare occasions so far that I've seen. It'll be funny if we lose so early in the game.
Careful, your supplies are running low.
You find Oswin face down in the forest, a half-eaten tuber by his side. He is unconscious, barely breathing. His lips are tinged blue. Let's see. Pour water on him. Taste a strange vegetable for yourself. His health is down to 90. I feel like water is the only thing we really can do because we have only 2 food. Either I taste the vegetable myself and find it to be poison, which it probably is poisoned. Like, inherently, wild potatoes in a fantasy world would be poisoned if they were like wild potatoes in the real world. We cultivated out most of the poison in the potatoes that are grown these days, but there is still enough of it that if mishandled and misstored, potatoes as part of the deadly nightshade plant family can poison you. Okay. I mean, there's really no reason to reroll anything else. Just need a fairly high... We needed a fairly high roll there. 15 out of potentially 18. As the water splashes the potato farmer, he whimpers, "No, take me instead." Oswin loses 20 life. Oswin falls back into the strange vegetable poison slumber. Okay, let's taste the potato for ourselves. Crunch down on the vegetable. It's somehow crunchy and sticky at the same time. It tastes very much like poison. Well, then if we taste it ourselves and we know it's poison, why in the world would we force the potato into his mouth? I mean, it seems pretty obvious that this is what you have to do, and the target is now 1 less. With a horrible gas, Oswin snaps upright as the water hits his face. Barely acknowledging you, Oswin begins to frantically search the area. With a cry of relief, he leaps behind a tree. You help the weary farmer to his feet. You keep a close eye on the potato farmer. Surely you think he won't get kidnapped again. So we could heal him at the campfire, but we've got really nothing to heal him with, nor do we even have money to buy food. We need a good card here or we're going to just lose.
It is a kind of miracle. The Empire has done their best to purge this world of everything strange and wonderful, and yet the strong remain.
You see some treasure lying just inside the den of family claw trolls. If we get this done, we'll have a full hexagon coin reward, so we might get at least something in this failed attempt. And I think I probably will just give this a second try, but so let's fail fast here. Billy clubs. You may try to revive it, but the claws of the troll cubs are preternaturally sharp. You'll have to be quick. Alright.
No better way to enforce justice than force. All law follows from might.
So, retrieve the item, but the troll cubs are enraged at your intrusion in their cave. So, are we looking for silver here? Or are we looking for gold? Or red?
That will set you in good stead from here.
You're both quick and nimble as you exit the cave safely. You gain 2 fame. So I guess we were looking for silver.
You've gathered enough pieces. Now let us see what that has gained you.
And so that got me a reward, but we are now out of food, so we should be taking health damage.
Food
in every
is
move.
ever the driving force behind success.
You arrive at a village during the market fair. Enter the fair. Go to the next level. Vegetables spill from the baskets in the air. Has a cozy smell of fresh baked bread. Oswin immediately wanders off. Let's play the strength game. Nope, we can't afford it. Behind the counter sits a small boy, fussing over a puppy. He holds out a heavy wooden mallet. 10 gold to play. If you win, you can draw from the prize hat. He points to a pile of folded papers. Let's buy provisions, I guess. We can't afford any provisions. So let's go find Oswin, I guess. Spot Oswin trading a fistful of gold for a meager sack of vegetables. The stall owner are very clearly bandits. They chuckle and count the coins, not believing their luck. Oswin tries to jam a potato into his sack already filled to bursting. He looks up and gives you a little wave. You worry about the road ahead.
Friends will get you in trouble. There is a reason I prefer to travel alone, yet here we are, making this journey together.
So we probably just have enough life to make it to the middle second row card there before we lose, and that's what I guess we'll try and do before we starve to death. You run into Oswin's goblin uncle. He beckons you over to a tree stump. As you approach, he places 2 items side by side on the stump. One will make your enemies your friend, the other is poison. Which would you drink? Quickly choose. There's a bomb and a bottle marked poison. Let's see. Let's go with the bottle. The goblin nods gleefully as you unstopper the bottle and down the thick liquid. The taste of butter, loaf, and sweet berries. You don't feel any different. Just as you go to laugh at the absurdity of it all, the goblin smacks hard on your hand with a staff, breaking your finger. Satisfied with the proceedings, the old goblin gives you a little wave, climbing up a nearby tree. The bomb still lies on the stump. You pocket it and look up to see skeletons emerging from the thicket.
Many are traitors in their hearts. If you know men, you know betrayal.
Traitors urge, throw a bomb that causes enemies to fight on your side for 10 seconds. You ready your weapon. So we're probably gonna lose here. Like, I can't take damage. Oswin can take a little bit of damage. we can only destroy these guys with the weapons, so these billy clubs are going to be very useless. These twin clubs have been set to Imperial task for a century now. Alright. So we have half of them fighting on our side for 10 seconds. There was our 10 seconds. Which like, I don't think there's anything else we can do here, though. Like, I think having that equipped does nothing for us. So, unless these skeletons could have been destroyed, which maybe they could have been with the billy club, no, they're just regenerating. So, yeah. So it looks like maybe they weren't regenerating. Maybe I could have just beaten them to death if I had any food or any
Perhaps
health.
different arms would find you faring better, or more skills.
So we failed early there. We do get this shard, 5 pieces of shard added together. Award. Supplies have been added to. Ring of preparation.
Completion is still within your grasp, but perfection has fled.
And see, that is not just even accurate, I think. Unless they are implying that you can never now succeed. Okay. Let's remove these. Well, first of all, let's just hit Y and see what the recommended. The Goblin can recommend a deck built from suggested card. Well, good. He's no match for an experienced player. Let's start with that, and then we'll see.
You may take their recommendations
what their
if you wish. They will be
recommendations
sufficient
are.
for now.
Yeah. Well, I would try to like to try newer cards. In this case, I think it probably does make sense to play cards that would do something for you. Maybe getting a blessing is the right move. We don't know what the blessings are, for instance, so we have no idea, and we would need like a dictionary or a way of looking at all the blessings. But we know some of these will gain life and some of these will gain food. The fallen treasure one I think we can get rid of since we know what that does, though. And so instead, let's see. See if we can gain food with bitter winter instead. That might be good. There probably are some cards here that would make some more sense too. Like just gaining resources with the Old Maiden. Inherently, we need to win over just playing cards and figuring out what the cards do. We have a long list of cards here that we kind of know what they do, but we haven't gotten the full requirement to get the rewards to unlock other cards. Okay, so then for pieces of equipment, we'll stick with the new things. And then we'll try and investigate what else would make sense.
You do like that one, don't you?
We definitely want the ring of food. So what should we get rid of? Otherwise, we'll get rid of that and go with that. The armor of gluttony. Also we want. So we'll swap that. And then ring of preparation, we don't know what it does. Soldier's sword, we don't know what that does, but I think we just start with food. This is so much going to be around the idea of food, I think. And see, if that's not enough preparation to win in this mission, and we fail this time, then we just have to move on to the next mission, which is very possibly what is going to have to happen.
So we begin our tale of romance, although we do it without the aid of those who have assisted us thus far.
So the story, and we'll just kind of jump through this, is that this potato farmer fell in love with somebody who's trying to now kill him and have them be eternally lovers in the undead. Let's see. And the layout and the location of the uncle, quote unquote, is always in the same place. And so I guess the question is this a tutorial that you could just skip and save some life on? Well, if you skipped it, it seems like you just wouldn't have any bombs at that point. Okay, we wanna, I guess, just fight wall. Whoops. You want to, I guess, fight to keep them busy while the grenades reload. But the reload also is kind of fast to do that. And backing off to have time to throw is going to be kind of difficult. And so then he's immediately going to be kidnapped. Let's see, card modification could have been useful. But we didn't have really a lot of options that we looked for to do that.
The game often offers you a choice.
This was a random
Sometimes
event.
they are both poor choices, however.
While roaming the dark alleys of the capital, you see a suspicious group traveling in your direction. They're dragging a locked chest behind them, its contents unknown. In another direction you spy a glinting in the moonlight. However, you notice a number of shadowy forms lurking in the shadow nearby. Okay, so move towards the visible enemies with the lock chest or move toward the suspiciously unguarded equipment. So is this a trap? Let's go with the unguarded equipment, just in case it isn't a trap. Either way, we're going to just end up fighting anyways. You push item, but soon run into trouble. You've been ambushed. So that was a 5 of greed instead of fighting a 4 of greed. Yeah, it definitely feels like you were going to just end up fighting somebody. And can I cancel throwing a grenade? Nope. I often see the green they're about to attack symbol. Notice the sword is just kind of glitching through that guy. I don't think they intentionally meant to depict it like his own sword went through him. Your assailants dispatched to pick up the equipment you drew you to this alleyway, and we gained 4 fame. So now we know what this is going to do.
When all is lost, artifacts like these represent a chance to turn the tides.
So Cry of Victory has 1 use. You and your companion deal 200% damage and enemies inflict 25% less damage. Lasts for 8 seconds. Item recharges after combat, otherwise it has only 1 use. This is a powerful combat item with a limited number of uses per fight. Restores charges after combat, which definitely implies that the Holy Bomb does not recharge after a fight. And so we have 2 remaining uses of this Holy Purification item. So we're not going to actually equip this item. We may just end up selling it. You pause to inspect the bodies of the vanquished. So a target of 10 to see if we get any other reward. I imagine the reward doesn't change based on how much you overroll your target. Recover some valuables from your fallen opponents. 10 gold.
Terrible things stand between you and your quest.
Okay. The dialogue was a little bit different there. They said they were just... we found him being dragged there instead of we found him being poisoned. Wow, 1 hit kill. That deserves an achievement, and yet it didn't give one. It's kind of funny, there's 99 achievements, and yet that isn't one of them. You rummage through the bones for anything of use, although there was an achievement for defeating a battle in less than 15 seconds that I've already gotten. So, Mask of the Holy Fortunes is what we're going to choose, but we should look at the other ones. Sacrificial Blades performs a series of strikes that can be guided towards multiple targets. The final strike causes stuns. The weapon is a holy weapon that deals 150% damage to undead, including skeletons, wraiths, and necromancers. We haven't seen wraiths or necromancer. And it's light. Hits increase during combo. Reposit to stun enemies. Counter attacks. Weak against enemies with high defense. Also, it requires 17 fame, so Sacrificial Blades. Totally not the thing to pick. Where Mask of Holy Fortunes has Draining Rebirth. When skeletons reanimate, they drain life from enemies around them. This seems like that would be bad. Unless you're summoning these skeletons, which I don't know how you would be summoning skeletons in this scenario. Only 1 helm can be worn at a time. This does have avoid failure. 1 failure card glows red during a shuffle of the chance gambits. That would be very helpful. Unfortunately, it requires 12 fame, but Maybe we can
Nothing
get
like
some fame.
carrying an aura of purity unearned to give the game away.
Oswin pokes at a pile of bones. It's quite nice that she'd send all of this to get me back. He looks quite pleased for a moment before remembering the skeletons were trying to kill him. You keep a close eye on the potato farmer. Surely you think he won't get kidnapped again. So now we're up to 8 fame. We could heal him at a campfire if we wanted to. Okay, we have a general store. Let's see what we can do. If we buy healing, that would heal 10, probably just to me. Let's see if we can buy food. Alright, and so we would need 4 more food. Interesting, the price seems like they went up. Or... yeah. We need 4 more gold. Let's see if we can sell some equipment. I think it probably is worth it to go ahead and just sell this, because I don't think we're ever going to use it in this scenario. Buy more food. Buy more food. We should look to see if there was any piece of equipment here that might have been worth getting. Oh man, that would have definitely been worth getting, but you can't sell food now, so we just have to live with our choices. Here we have unrest at Iron Peak. A pall of smog casts the city in a dull gray light as you navigate the narrow streets and back alleys of Iron Peak. Beware, the Prince of Poison, calls a young boy, short-brimmed hat, as he hands out leaflets. Passing the crowd, you stop to read the discarded parchment, sodden by damp that clings to the cobblestones. Prince of Poison strikes again. Another mass poisoning in the back streets of Lowtown. Mayor raises reward to 500 gold. The boy approaches as you finish reading. So we've already done this one yet. We've already done this Iron Peak, maybe DLC card. We asked about the Prince of Poisons, we asked about the Disheveled. Let's ask about protection from the Prince of Poisons. The boy looks around to make sure nobody's watching too closely, then discreetly takes a small vial of colorless liquid from his pocket. This tonic was brewed from the fruit of a rare plant that only grows high in the northern hills. It'll boost your strength, give you an edge you need to survive the poison. Let's see. I like you, stranger. If I'm a fair judge of character, and you seem like a good sort. For you, only 5 gold. We don't have 5 gold, so either we don't buy it or we try and snatch it from him. It seems boring to just not buy it, so let's try and snatch it from him. The boy moves with surprising speed. Keep it from your grasp. Okay. So you hit red, and that's
Even when things
failure.
appear impossible, they can be mastered. Keep practicing.
Or that may be a huge failure to hit red. While dodging your feeble lunges, the boy also manages to pick your pocket before disappearing down the alleyway. So that was 1 gold we lost, not actually 20. Sudden scream has you reaching for your weapon and sends the crowd into a panic. A band of armed warriors advance on a silver-haired woman weighed down with an impressive array of weapons. One of the men points menacingly at the woman, declaring, "You sent my brother Mad Eye back to Break Knuckle prison, bounty hunter." "Yes," the woman states matter-of-factly, "I did. Perhaps he should learn to accept rejection." Let's see. "Nobody crosses my family." The warriors rush forward to attack. Let's see. Well, do we fight to defend the woman, which I think we've already done, or join the men attacking the woman, which would be more of the joining the bad guys, or stay back and observe, which sounds very boring. We gotta do something different here, so let's just join the men attacking the woman. The men are too intent on rushing on the silver-haired woman to notice you step forward. The woman gets off only a few shots, however, before the squad of soldiers rush in to break up the melee. The garrison captain rides up and addresses the woman curtly. Ketera, causing trouble again. It's by doing your job that I make enemies like this, Ketera responds sharply. The captain bristles at this remark, but keeps his voice under control as he retorts, "We have more important work to do than chasing street thugs and petty criminals." "And how goes the search for the Prince of Poisons?" Ketera asks. "I hear another 12 died at the smelter yesterday." The captain's face fills with anger, but Ketera simply turns and walks away, adding, "I have work to do. You know where to find me." The garrison captain screams orders for everyone to disperse, then rides down the street. The soldiers run up with him, and you slip away before more trouble starts. You leave the troubled town of Iron Peak with the impression that you've not seen all it has to offer. So, siding with the bad guys did absolutely nothing. It avoided a fight, but I could have just also stayed on the sidelines if that was going to be the case. So we go to the fair. We can't buy provisions because we have no gold. We can't play the game of strength. So we have to go find Oswin. You spot Oswin trading a fistful of gold for a meager sack of vegetables. Stall owners are clearly bandits. Nothing really happens there. And so we've managed to just go full circle, but we are in a slightly better position now. We're at 100 health. Oswin's health is at 100. It must have restored by eating food too when we took that step. We have a decent amount of food and a decent amount of fame, no gold. You awaken one morning to find Oswin completely vanished. He has been kidnapped again. This time we just walk to the right to address that. Oswin's time is limited.
Love was always difficult. This seems more trouble than you might expect, however.
You find Oswin surrounded by bandits swinging high-pitched fork wildly and threatening to use their tailbones to till farm. Light weapons are recommended against thieves. We can change our equipment. Do we have light weapons? Yeah. And then anything else? Wheel of Preparations just lets you view the cards in a wheel gambit. That's not a very useful ring in this scenario. We only have like one more use of this holy bomb, and then I have no idea what's going to happen there. Like, we've defeated 7 of 75 skeletons with 3 uses. So I assume what's going to happen is we're going to end up just getting yet another holy bomb every time we use all 3 uses. And I'll have to just remind myself in my mind as far as just what is the right buttons to press. I think there's people just beating on Oswin over here. So we're supposed to be protecting him. And he can't obviously protect himself. there is some like stun effect or something, or combo effect that is highlighted in the top right there. Interesting, his health is at 100, so apparently he doesn't actually take any health damage in the fights unless he takes kind of a significant amount of health damage in the fights. You search the bodies for anything of use.
Matched blades built to enforce justice.
And we might as well take them and equip them. 10 food.
You have proven yourself worthy.
So we now have the Mask of Holy Fortunes. I think we already had this, but we can now equip it with the Fame card. You keep a close eye on the potato farmer. Surely you think he won't get kidnapped again. So, yeah. I think we had that, we just couldn't equip it. And what is our goal on this? Get 30 successes or huge success cards to unlock the shard. Forward we go.
Good luck taking this token from me.
While strolling on the docks of the capital, you spy Rama on her soup with harpoon fishing supplies. We don't have a way to buy a premium fishing harpoon. We can fish here, and we can just skip the instructions.
The pendulum is ever changing, and the challenges it presents change too.
That that was way harder. I mean, that should have been really easy. I should have been able to do that the first time. The harpoon descends further into the reef. Okay. Seems like you're gonna have to succeed a couple times here.
Nicely timed.
The harpoon plunges into the lowest depths of the ocean. The treasure glitters on the ocean floor. Oh, this is gonna be tough. Just because there's gonna be things in the way. So you have to get like 3 of these in a row at least. The harpoon buries itself into something solid, while Rana hauls up the catch onto the deck.
A tool of life and of death.
Okay. So we get the Dead Man's Hand. Last shot. Aim a spell that deals 50 damage to the first enemy it hits, causes more damage when your life is low, max 500 damage. This is an artifact, a powerful combat item with limited number of uses. 5 uses. Do I want to equip that at the moment? No. I feel like they should give me the coin. Among the coins and confused sea urchins, you spy a curious gauntlet. It hums with arcane power as you slide it over your hand. Now weirdly, that didn't give me food, and the reason I picked this card, or kept this card, was to get food. The sun hangs low on the horizon. Rana raises the anchor and says, "Time to return to the darks to distribute the sea's bounty." Rana scoops a pile of gold coins out of the waterlogged treasure chest. Not what I was expecting to haul up, but good enough. So now we have like 25 gold, which is better than food, I think, at this point. Rana gives you a casual salute, a bucket of chum tangling from her arm. If you ever want to go out on the water again, you know where to find me. Right. So we can now go into the general store and we can see if we can buy the ring of food, which would be very helpful.
Is that your choice? Really?
And then we now know what Dead Man's Hand does as an item, so I think it's probably worth selling that. Unless we were gonna just keep it. I guess the question first to ask is, what can we buy? Because my sacrificial blades here would do extra damage And so that might be worth buying. Or buying food. I mean, we really would have to go down the path of just assuming we're going to need a massive amount of food. Which maybe we are. But yeah, that doesn't really make sense either. So, if we were to buy this for 37, we have 11 now. If we sold this for 25, that would be 36. That would put us 1 coin short. Oddly. So then it just is going to be, do we want to sell an item just so we have gold? Well, you know what? We should buy this, obviously.
They are your decisions to make. I will not tell you what to do. You must learn from your mistakes as well as your successes. Go ahead, buy what pleases you.
So apparently that was a mistake to buy that. I don't know why, though. That seems like that puts you in a very nice position where Ring of Preparation gives you an ability to look at wheel gambits if we see any wheel gambits. Ring of Food lets you discard any non-food gain card to gain food, and Gambler's Jewel adds +2 to your dice gambits. All of those seem like they are very helpful. Then we have successes that we're looking for with the cards to get the shard here, and skeletons to kill to get the shard here. And then we have billy clubs, defeating 15 thieves with a finisher to unlock this reward. Feels like we're in a very good position. The only thing we could look for otherwise is either a curse or blessing, or a single-handed weapon, so we could use a shield if we had a shield that we actually could unlock some kind of reward for. Inherently, it does seem like you can eventually just unlock all the rewards if you just play long enough, and by unlocking all the rewards you will have just a much wider amount of cards to do the deck building with. Probably in that you will have better cards to do the deck building with, but then you're going to run into some small limitations at the beginning where you're only going to be able to play 8 events or 8 pieces of equipment in each run. So if you have a deck limit like that you're not going to get too crazy with the deck building, which is probably a good thing, because if they let me play some kind of endless, well, probably in endless mode, it is every single card that you've unlocked. And at that point, it probably is better to have unlocked as many cards as possible. But in the missions, that would be crazy. I don't think we're even at a point here where we pick 8 event cards that you're guaranteed you will actually see all 8 of those event cards in a mission. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, and keep on watching. Thanks.